No fruit. How can I get my lemon tree to bear fruit? Stay tuned, be right back. Hello YouTubers! Marcelina here showing you another video. How can I get my lemon tree to bear fruit? This is the topic that we're going to go over into this video. But before we dive in, I'm going to ask a special favor of you. We don't get paid making videos, but we will get a small percentage amount of compensation in ads. We don't ask you to watch all the ads in the video, but if you could watch even just one, that would help our channel expand. Oh, one more thing. We also would love to have you guys join our gardening family. We are open to adoption, and adoption is very easy. Just press the red button below, subscribe, like, and share. Also, don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of each one of our newest videos as soon as they are posted. So thank you in advance for all the support out there. Let's get back to the show, and I'll see you in the next clip. Lemon must bloom to produce fruit. If there is no flower, that means we don't get fruit. So how can we get our lemon tree to bear fruit? This is my calamondin, guys. I'm going to show it to you. Look at my calamondin. Look at that. Oh my gosh. As you can see, one branch is loaded with fruit. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Do you know that calamondin fruit takes a year to fully ripe? This is 1 year now, and as you can see, it's fully ripe. Oh my goodness, look at that, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. This is beautiful. If you're watching this video right now and you're growing citrus that it is not producing fruit, today in this video you are going to discover our top 6 reasons why lemons don't have fruit. Keep watching. We'll continue after the break.
Hey, G, baby G! Is that the Popo?
Yeah, Pa, I think they're looking for people who haven't subscribed to Cashew Greens.
You mean it's illegal not to subscribe?
Yep, the governor said there are 4 things everyone must do during the COVID pandemic.
Like what?
1, wear a mask. 2, distancing.
Yeah?
3, wash hands.
Mm-hmm.
And 4, subscribe to Cashew Greens.
For real?
Yep.
Oh, man!
If you're growing citrus right now and you're so excited to have fruit so you can make lemonade, but you're wondering why your lemon is not producing fruit, well, my answer to this is that it can be an ignorance of problems from where the citrus is growing, how it is growing, and what is being fed. When I was in my country, Philippines, oh my gosh, we grow a lot of lemons, especially calamondin. Our calamondin tree was loaded with fruit that covered the whole entire tree. And eventually we harvested a lot of calamondin fruit every year. The reason for that, Philippines is a tropical island and citrus is a tropical plant. So if you grow citrus in the Philippines, it thrives because it has a good favorable climate. Here in the US, we are living in a subtropical region, meaning our citrus plant is going to experience temperature variation, which I'm going to explain that later on in this video, how a temperature is affecting or influencing the citrus from producing flower. Now, there are other reasons why your citrus is not producing fruit, which I'm going to share that with you right now. Alright, there are 6 reasons why your citrus is not producing fruit. Number 1, plant age. How old is your lemon? I'm going to introduce you 2 citrus cultivars that we grow in the greenhouse that are not producing fruit. Oh my gosh, you're heavy. Okay. So this is our variegated Eureka. Look at this plant, is beautiful and it is not flowering. We also have calamondin here. Look at my calamondin, guys. I'm going to show it to you closer. Look at my calamondin. It's beautiful and it is not flowering either. So if you're growing citrus right now that is not producing fruit, just be patient, guys. Nurture the plant. Even if there is no fruit, the plant is still beautiful. No wonder why citrus is considered one beautiful ornamental tree, because it has this beautiful green foliage. Now, some varieties of fruiting trees like lemon, they require a complete maturation before they begin to flower. It's about 4 years old for a citrus tree to begin to bloom. And we got this from local nursery. I assume this tree is about 2.5 years old or maybe 3 years old. It is not matured enough to sit fruit. And hopefully by the next year, we will see some flowers. Now, depending how you grow your citrus, if you grow them from seeds, oh my goodness, it takes a long period of time to grow lemons from seeds. I grew Eureka from seeds and it takes almost 15 years now of growth, and the tree is not producing fruit, so I give it away to a friend. So it takes 15 years or maybe more than 15 years, around 20 years for the tree to begin, for the lemon tree to begin to fruit, and depending what location you grow the citrus. So growing from seeds, it takes longer period of time to produce fruit. And I'm going to show you guys my Mayor lemon here. Look at my Mayor lemon. It is beautiful. Look at that, it's flowering. So this plant is matured enough to sit flower. This is taken from cuttings from a matured tree, which is the Mayor lemon that is more than 10 years old. So the age of this plant is the same as the age of the parent. The second reason is not getting enough sunlight. We already know sunlight is vital for plant photosynthesis. And right now it's cloudy. I don't have sunshine, meaning my citrus is not getting enough photosynthesis. We are living in subtropical region where winter month is approaching, which I'm not excited about it. I'm not looking forward to it. Lemon needs full sun. It requires at least 12 hours of daylight. If you grow citrus indoor, make sure you place your plant in areas where there is a lot of sunshine. If your house doesn't get enough sunlight, you can purchase or buy grow light. Make sure that the light is specific for flowering plants or fruiting trees. I'm going to link the product below this video. Check the link if you need some extra lighting for your indoor plants. Now, the third reason is improper watering. Do you know that waterlogged is the result of overwatering? No wonder why your citrus is not blooming. You oversaturated your soil. Or if it blooms, probably flowers dropping off the ground because of too much water. So overwatering and underwatering produce the same result. But how can you tell if your citrus needs water? Let's find it out. Alright, so we're going to test the dryness of the soil. We're using one of these plant here, so we will check this container to see if it needs water. Now, there is two ways method you can do this. You can use your finger or you can use this test meter. I like this tool because, as you can see, there is a three-way method. You can check the moisture, you can check the light, you can check the pH of the soil. So if you're using your finger, you insert your finger all the way down 3 to 4 inches. Okay, so this soil is dry. It means this plant needs water. And if you're going to use this test meter, you dry this so you get a good result. And then insert this all the way to the up to here. So it's almost down to the root zone. Okay. And then just place like that. Okay. So it reads that there is not enough moisture in the soil. So let's water the plant. Alright, when watering your citrus, you give them a soft watering, not too fast because you don't want to damage the root system. And citrus needs a lot of water, so use a deep watering until you see the water drains down. Okay, that's good for the plant. So now you have water now, you will be okay. Alright, next reason is improper fertilization. And I'm going to show you how to fertilize your plant, and I will explain it along the way. So let's continue after the break. Alright, so I have the fertilizer here, I have the citrus tune, and citrus tune mixed with bone meal. I run out of bone meal, so I mix the nutrients together. Bone meal is good source for phosphorus. Citrus is heavy feeders. It requires macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium for the growth of the plant. Now, nutrients should be given in a proper amount. If you are buying fertilizer commercially, make sure you read the label because too much or over fertilization can be fatal to the plant. So let's take a look with this citrus. Citrus is heavy nitrogen feeder, and as you can see, this lemon is producing too much leaf, meaning it gets a lot of nitrogen. So,
hi guys, Greg Stevens here. I'm helping Marcelina here on one of her videos on why your citrus plants are not producing fruit. Well, when you go see a doctor, first thing he has you do is takes your temperature, takes your blood pressure, takes a depressing stick, looks in your throat and your tonsils, looks in your ears and your nose. Those are the symptoms of the outward expression of what's going on in your body. Well, plants do exactly the same thing, except they do it through their leaves. And when you're looking at a plant's leaf, you can tell almost everything that's going on. As you're looking at this particular citrus plant here, this is a key lime, and this has a lot of nitrogen. It's very healthy. It's producing a lot of growth, but it's not producing any flowers. And the reason why it has too much nitrogen and not enough of some of the other elements. Well, and then if we look at this plant over here, this is another key lime, and this one is producing some fruit, as you can see here and up in here. These are little limes that are just starting. It just bloomed here in the beginning of November, and this particular plant is doing pretty well. It needs a little more nitrogen. The leaves are a little bit on the light green side, but overall it's in pretty good health. Before you can get your plant to start producing flowers and fruit, it has to be able to absorb the nutrients and the micronutrients into the root systems. And no matter how much of the fertilizers that you put in there, this is citrus tone. This is one of our favorite ones here because it has a lot of nutrients in there. It's very good. It has everything you need in there. However, if the pH of your plant is not correct, it cannot absorb these nutrients into their fine root systems. And you want to be able to check your pH. There's several different ways you can do that. This is one of the ways that we use. You flip the little thing over here on pH and you stick it in the soil. However, you want to water the plant first before you check the pH. All right, we're going to give this plant some water so we can test the pH, and it's on the dry side here. I just tested it. pH meter down in the soil about 8 to 10 inches, about 8 inches. And it's right at about 6.5. 6.5 is perfect for where we want to be. As you can see on the calibration here, 7.0 is base, and anything above that is alkaline. Everything below 7 is acidic. 6.5 is very good for citrus. They like that 6.5 range. So what we want to do is make sure our pH is correct. Then when we put the fertilizer in, the plant will be able to absorb it. All right, one of the things we want to be able to do if our soil is too alkaline is reduce it and make it 6.5. And one of the best ways to do that is start off with 1 teaspoon of vinegar. This is 1 tablespoon measuring, so we're going to fill it up halfway. Okay, just a little bit of acid from the vinegar will flip this 7.0 water into a acidic mixture. And then just simply water this because it needs a drink anyway. If it is already 7.0, it will not harm it at all. We're going to give it a good watering. It hasn't been watered in a week. When we water it, we like to water it thoroughly. And now it's got a nice gallon of water at 6.5 pH. Now, go ahead and stop the video for a minute.
So basically, the vinegar is a safe side to
All right, we're going to fill this up first.
to give to your
Baseline.
citrus. So right now he is testing the water
This is water right out of the hose.
with no vinegar
No
in it.
vinegar in there at all. And we are now at 7.0 right on the nose.
So that
7.0.
is neutral.
I don't know if you can see that. It's the bottom set of numbers on the bottom of the scale. 7.0. Now we're going to add a half a teaspoon of vinegar to this to adjust the pH. Fine water and become acidic. That's 1 teaspoon.
So 1 teaspoon of vinegar mixed in water.
I'm going to stir it up. And as you can see, it is now right at 6.0. So we went from 7 to 6 with a half a teaspoon of water. And that is a little bit lower than I like. I like around 6.5, but that's 6. Just to show you, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar will drop at 1 whole point.
Okay. Yeah, especially if you're growing them in container, they really need to maintain that acidity in soil, because you water them all the time and it drains, it leaches. Right. Okay, so that's it. So you just maintain your vinegar is to acidify your soil. Alright guys, just an extra information, and before I forgot, so there are 2 tricks that you can induce flowering. I normally don't apply this in my gardening, and hopefully you applied it well, because this is a risky type of activity, because it could harm your plants. And if you're comfortable or you can sacrifice one of your plants, then it is okay. So one trick that you can induce flowering is by doing the water deprivation. When I said water deprivation, means that you have to shut off the water supply to your plants, and then when you see the first initial sign of your plant from wilting leaves, then that is the time you water your plants properly. So doing that, it stimulates the flowering production. The other trick that you can do is to take out your lemon. I don't take my lemon outside, because during the night the greenhouse is in the little cooler night, so you need to expose your citrus around 60 degrees, because citrus plants need a little bit chill out. So if you can put them outside for a few hours, as long as it is 60 degrees, not below 60. So it is also stressing out the plants, and when they are stressed, then they would produce flower. Okay, so another thing, so I have my partner here. He said we're going to do a questionnaire. All right, maestro.
I read all of your messages from all of your subscribers and
Oh,
all
yeah?
of your viewers, and they had a few questions that they wanted to ask you, and I thought, what better way to answer it than on video? So,
Okay.
without further ado, the first question they asked is, what is the best way to control aphids, mites, and scale on your citrus plants?
You know what, maestro? That is a good question. Well, I'm going to throw that to the audience. The same thing when I was teaching, so I had to throw that to my students and then listen to their questions. So what do you think, guys?
Number one best stuff
Number
to use
is
neem oil
neem oil
with azadirachtin.
azadirachtin.
There are 2 types of neem oils on the market. One is a hydrotropic neem oil, which you buy up at your big box stores, and you might as well just spit on your plants, because they don't do a doggone thing.
Spit on your plants.
Spit on your plants, because this is like olive oil. And if you know what
Okay.
virgin olive oil is, it's the first squeeze.
First squeeze.
When you take azadirachtin nuts and you squeeze them, that's your virgin squeeze, and you get the azadirachtin in there. After about 4 or 5 squeezes, all the azadirachtin is gone, and the only thing that's left is a hydrotropic neem oil. And the best chance you have is maybe to suffocate the insect, but if you use the neem oil with the azadirachtin in it, it'll actually be a growth inhibitor for the insects, and as they go from egg to larvae to adult, they die in between. It gets into their systemic of their body, and they can't molt, they can't change or metamorphosize, and they die.
Okay.
So you can mix it with some soap. The soap helps to disperse the neem oil into the water so it's evenly mixed. I keep mine up here next to my heater because you want to keep this at around... Nice. You want to keep this at about 65 degrees so that it stays
Oh my gosh, the camera
mixed.
is cooling down. Okay.
You need to invest in a new tripod there, Mom.
So that's why. Oh my gosh, we're just having fun in here, guys. So neem oil, but just be careful when you mix your neem oil. So if you're mixing that in a gallon, that is how many?
You'd use a
Liter.
quarter of an ounce per quart. So that would be
That-
1 ounce per
That
gallon.
gallon that you're using, how much?
That is a 1 gallon jug, so I use 1 ounce of neem oil, 100% pure neem oil, and I put about 3 capfuls of soap in there, and that helps to emulsify the oil with the water so it sprays evenly. Still, you got to keep shaking it up all the time. Best thing you can use for your plants. It is an antifungal as well as it is an anti-insect.
Wow, that's very
Pesticide.
good.
Okay, next
So-
question. What is the best fertilizer? Man, you need to do something with that thing, man.
Oh my gosh.
You can take them out of the Philippines, but you can't take the Philippine out of the Filipino.
So that's why, guys, you need to watch the
That's what you get for making a camera stand out of bamboo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
A tripod made of bamboo.
As Maribel would say, oh man.
Okay. I'm like, question maestro. Oh my goodness, I have a headache.
What's the
I'm
best
Mariel.
fertilizer for your citrus plants? Come on, before you people get bored and click off.
Okay, so I would recommend you guys the best fertilizer for citrus. You need to have a fertilizer that is specific for citrus because it has a complete balance of nutrients, and you can use other nutrients as long as there is a good amount of nitrogen.
So can I just sprinkle it on top of the soil? How do I do it?
No, like what you did the other day.
Well, tell them they didn't see
No,
me the
so
other day.
if you okay, show me how
This-
you do it.
What
So
I do is if it's a plant that's already been potted,
Okay.
I just sprinkle the...
Fertilize that because it needs
Yeah,
that.
I already did it. I did it about half an hour ago. You sprinkle the fertilizer on the top, and then I take this little back scratcher, and I have double purpose. I can scratch my back in the greenhouse, and I can come up here and I can mix the fertilizer in with the soil. If you don't do this, the fertilizer will actually grow mold on top of it. So you want to stir it in. And this also breaks up the surface of the soil to allow better drainage and more oxygen into the roots. So that's how you apply your fertilizer.
Okay.
All right.
So so is it necessary to add compost to your soil?
They do like compost, but you got to be careful because when you add compost, you're adding some bacteria in there and maybe some insects. It has to be baked. You want to bake it before you use compost in your plants. All right, next question. Man, can't take her anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
What's the best container to use for your citrus plants? This is the last question. What's the best container to use? Should I use? How about is this the best
We use
container?
kabo.
Is this the best container right here? This plastic?
Yeah, that is good.
That's crappy container. The best
we
one
use
over here
kabo.
is the milk crate that has the weed guard on the
Oh my gosh,
outside.
you're killing me.
This allows the roots to self-prune. Very inexpensive.
Oh my gosh.
It holds like about 5 gallons of potting mix in there. And if you want to redo the soil, it's so easy to take it out and redo it. But the roots will stop right to the outer edge and they prune themselves because
So-
they're getting a lot of oxygen.
That's why Greg Steven is the king of the advanced farming. So in agricultural farming, you
Check
need
out at
to
the bottom
know.
of the link of this video, and you'll see some of our books that we produce.
Where's the book?
They're
Down
on
there?
Amazon.
Down there? Where?
They're on gumroad.com. Yeah, we have backyard gardening. We got rose propagation. Got a new one coming out this winter on diseases for citrus. And it's going to be an easy to understand. I'm not going to make it real technical. Easy so everybody can understand to recognize the different diseases or insects, best way to treat them.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
All right. So thank you, Maestro.
That's it for today.
That is for today. So Greg Stevens, we always working together here in the greenhouse and just basically tending all these plants and get ideas how to improve our growing, so we can share that with you guys. So we really want you to join our gardening family, and this is my bae.
That's right. Subscribe.
So what is if I married you because you are my bae, so what would you call me?
You're my obey.
Obey. Do
My
you guys
obey.
obey?
That's right.
Heck no, I never obey to anyone except myself.
I say, Mama, we need more citrus plants. Get out there and start propagating.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, guys. So thank you for watching. So see you next week and peace out.
Peace out.